kind of reset the fight a little bit.
Hey guys,
Okay.
Spud Knocker here, as always, and today we've got a recording of the very first one-on-one training session that I've done over the brand new Mariana Islands map. Now this map is going to be absolutely awesome for these one-on-one training sessions because it's free to everyone when they first get started in DCS World, so that way they don't have to buy another map in order to get some other scenery besides the Caucasus. And with how tired I am of flying over the Caucasus, I can't tell you how awesome that is. Now in this one-on-one training session, myself and my student went over some basic fighter maneuvering techniques, or BFM. In this session, he flew his FA-18C Hornet against my F-5E Tiger II. Now there's a very good reason that I fly the F-5E when I first start off with dogfighting with new students. It's not going to overpower them, it's not going to have crazy whiz-bang avionics, it's really going to level the playing field between myself and the student. I die in 99% of encounters or engagements when I fly the F-5 against aircraft like the FA-18C, F-16, and sometimes even the F-14 Tomcat. But that's the point. The point is to build up their confidence and build up their skills while not overpowering them, as I stated earlier. Another cool side effect of this is the new tropical map, the Mariana Islands, definitely gave me some Key West Naval Air Station vibes as we were flying over it, flying a VFC 111 skinned F5 against an FA-18 Hornet. Now, of course, in real life, the United States Navy and any contractors would not be practicing dogfighting maneuvers directly over an island that is populated by US residents or US citizens. They would be far offshore, but it was definitely very cool to fly a VFC 111 Tiger over the top of a very tropical island. Just very cool, kind of really good set and setting for this dogfighting practice that we did today. Of course, as you guys know, I do one-on-one training with all of my patrons who support the channel, $15 or more. It's just an awesome perk of supporting the channel and help keeping it going for more missions, more videos, and more awesome content in the future. Well, thanks a lot, guys, for watching. I hope maybe you learned something or maybe pick something up from this, and hopefully you can shoot me down on your FA-18 or your F-16 while I fly an F-5 in the future here. So, fly safe out there, guys, and of course, stay healthy.
Okay, I'm picking up your radar.
Good, good. That's what we want to see. And then try to get me on your radar as soon as you can and get me into a Twiz lock so that way you can have better situational awareness as to where exactly I am.
Okay, so I'm stuck in ACM for some reason.
Make sure that you try reselecting your aim 7s, and that will bring you back to BVR mode. There we go. Now I've got you, on my RWR at this point, so that's good. Now you just want to put me into a Twiz lock so that way you know where I am and you can see me through your HMD and through your HUD very, very easily, and that'll help get your eyes onto me as quickly and efficiently as possible.
Okay, so you're locked.
Perfect. And we're right on the nose from each other. Looks like we're right at co-altitude, so that's fantastic. And like I said, we're about 20 nautical miles away.
I think you're on the right.
Fantastic. And it looks like we're going to pass left to left, currently about 5 miles out. And there you are. All right, fight's on. All right, we're going into a one-circle fight. This is where you're going to want to start pulling hard to make sure that you can get your nose back around on me. We're probably going to come into another merge, being nose on with each other. If we were in a missile fight, this is where you'd want to try to get your nose on me as fast as you can So that way you can get a head-on missile shot and end the dogfight as quickly as possible. But since we're guns only...
I got you.
Yep. And there's that second merge. Let's change it up on you, see how you react. So far, you're flying the jet really well. I like it. Alright, I'm at low speed, so this is where I'm going to start using my rudders to roll. And there you go, using that energy advantage you have in the F-18 over me in the F-5. However, that move there was not so great. Kind of put me into a more advantageous position there, even though I'm down lower. And you just want to pull hard into me here. Make sure I don't get my nose on you.
Yeah, and I stalled.
Yep. So do you have your HMD turned on?
Yep.
Fantastic. So just keep an eye on your airspeed, right? Even through your HMD, even if you're looking over your shoulder at me. And that way you'll be able to tell when you're going to get to a position where you're not going to have any energy left, right?
Exactly.
So that's what we want to be looking out for. There you go. I'm kind of waiting for you to come back down lower. There we go.
There you are.
Yep. So we're kind of coming into a vertical scissors here. This is where you're going to definitely have an advantage over me in your F-18, right?
Nope, I'm gonna crash.
Uh-oh. And kaboom. Yep. All right, so what happened there? Why did you crash?
Just a second, I'm getting too much noise.
All right.
Okay,
can you hear me?
So yeah.
Cool.
I think that I got too focused on you, and I had my nose down, and afterburner on. So what happened there was I was speeding to the ground, and I did not have enough elevator authority to basically get my nose up.
Yep, exactly. So what that means is, right, if we get into a situation where we need less airspeed, first thing we do is chop the throttle, right? And then, of course, we can also pop out that speed brake. We got to make sure that we're we're on the Marianas map, right? So there's not really any mountains. So you can go off of your altimeter to basically see where the ground is, right? And so we want to make sure that we're keeping an eye on me, of course, the ground, of course, as you know, your altitude and the attitude of your nose, right? Yeah. So we just want to make sure that we're keeping, you know, a good view on where our aircraft is pointed at all times. And the way I do that is basically I think, and I plot mentally about where you are and where I'm looking at you, right? So if my head is looking all the way back over my right shoulder and up, then I can kind of more or less know where my nose is pointed, right? And based off of the horizon that's around me and where I see that horizon, I can kind of get a good idea of where my nose is pointed. And so we have to kind of develop that instinct, and that kind of just comes from just repetition and trying it. And it's not easy. That is for sure. It is not an easy thing to develop. So pretty darn good. What I was going to say is when we got into that vertical scissors, if you had chopped your throttle and maybe even popped out your speed brake, I would have probably squirted out in front of you. You would have gotten right on my 6, been able to hold that and shoot me down pretty darn easy. Because an F5, I don't have the same kind of control authority that you do with a fly-by-wire system in your F-18. Make sense?
Yep.
Cool. All right, let's go ahead and reset. So go press escape, go to select role, click the back to spectators button and hop into another F-18, and we will get going for a second round. Let me know when you're loaded in and ready to start.
I'm in.
All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, unpaused. So it's okay, 100% okay, to pull back on the throttle and pop out a speed brake when you're in a dogfight. So don't get worried about that in terms of like, oh geez, I probably shouldn't try to get slow in a dogfight. But the idea, especially in a one-on-one fight, is to make sure that the other guy stays in front of you. And if you're too fast, you're going to overshoot, right? Which is no good because then you're going to get yourself into a lot of trouble that way because now he's going to be on your 6th. And so the whole idea there is to try and get the other guy out in front of you. So whether that means slowing down, that's totally fine. As well as if you do get the bad guy is on your 6 o'clock or he's starting to come to your 6 o'clock, also try to develop an instinct of like, oh geez, when should I run away? And try to gain some speed, run away, and then kind of come back into the fight and reset it on your terms and with an advantageous position for you, or maybe just it's time to retire and run away and live to fight another day kind of situation.
I get you.
All right. Don't have you quite on. There we go. Now I've got you on radar. About 30 nautical or about 20 nautical miles away from each other.
Yeah, I see you.
Perfect. And it looks like we're going to do another left to left kind of pass. There he is. And fight's on. Alright. Good job. If you're looking over your shoulder at me, just try to mentally plot where that horizon is and where your nose is pointed. Coming back in at each other here.
Yeah, not seeing you.
Got it. I just lost you in the clouds as well. In the background of the clouds, that is. Alright, there we go. There we go. Okay, I'm just below you. I'm coming through your 6 o'clock low.
Okay, I think I see you.
Perfect. So when you are fighting against a really small airplane like an F-5, you got to make sure you stay nice and close to me, right? Because if I get too far away, you're not going to be able to see me very well because I'm just so tiny. So that's the same thing for like, say, a MiG-21 or a MiG-23 or an F-5. You want to make sure you're nice and close, otherwise you're just not going to be able to keep track of me visually. If, say, I'm an F-14, that's just a giant airplane, or a Su-27, you'll be able to, you know, extend out a little bit more and still be able to see me.
Yeah, I understand that.
Alright, I'm in your deep 6 right now. I don't know if you see me.
You're behind my shell, but yeah, I barely see you.
Good.
That's
what we want.
Switch it on you.
Alright. So that move... What's that?
Yeah, I'm trying to pick up some altitude and make you lose energy.
Yep, that is a good move, but see that turn reversal you did, not the best move in the world because of the fact that it actually let me get closer to you because you wasted time in that turn reversal. But you are accelerating out away from me because I'm an F5 and you're an F-18. I don't have the engines to match your climb rate. But don't get your nose too high, right? Because if you stall the plane and you start to get into a situation where you're gonna do like a hammerhead and stall the plane, kind of like, looks like you're getting close to it, I am gonna be able to get right back onto your 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
So the better thing to do back there is instead of reversing the turn and going vertical, may have been just to simply keep that right-hand turn coming really, really hard and outmaneuver me rather than trying to out-energy me.
I understand.
So even though I'm in a pretty low energy state, I'm just waiting for you to come back down. And I'm just doing kind of a lazy lead here.
Yeah, I see you. And I can't get my nose at you.
Well, this is where you can start to use your maneuvering advantage in the F-18, right? So you can start pulling hard and get your nose onto me and really try to... There you go. There you go. Now you're getting more offensive against me. There you go. Keep pulling hard. Keep pulling hard. So now it's time, now that we're slow, it's time for you to stay slow and really use your slow speed advantage to get on me. So see, here you go. You're able to outmaneuver me here as I'm trying to shake you off my tail. Keep your nose on me. Here you go. If you pull hard, try to maybe get a high deflection gunshot off on me.
Nah.
Yeah.
I'm in the village of Stowe.
Yep. I am too. And so I'm just going to tuck it under, bring it down towards the jungle, and do a split S. See if I can gain back any energy. There you go. There you go. Now you're on my 6. Good job. Now I'm trying to make sure that I don't give you a clean shot on my aircraft. And for when it comes to aerial gunnery, want to get that pipper right in front of my nose. And as my jet flies right through your pipper, you then want to squeeze that trigger. And you notice how I am just rolling the jet all over the place. I'm trying to mess up your lead. And there you go. You got too fast. I'm going to make you overshoot. There you go. See how you overshot on that one? At this point, you got to use that excess energy that you have, climb up above me, and I can't match you in the F5 here. Good job, looking better. There you go. See how in the F-18 you can just outmatch me in terms of the way you can maneuver the aircraft, and if you make a mistake, you can just hit the burners and climb out away from me.
Yeah, you're way below me.
Yep.
There you are.
Yep. And when you can't see me for any reason, like we get into a situation before where you can't see me for any reason, just make sure. There we go, make you overshoot again. Alright, I'm chopping the throttles, popping out those speed brakes. There we go. So there, see how your nose passed through me there for a second? That's where you want to try and get that snapshot and try and get me. But good job not letting me make you overshoot. That's a really good job and a massive improvement. I gotta watch out for the jungle here. Oh, that was close.
Yeah, but I have to conserve my ammo.
Yep, you're gonna run out of ammo. Gotta be very, very careful with that. Now, obviously, if this were in a dogfight, like say in one of the missions that I create, you would have teammates that would be helping you, and of course, air-to-air missiles are also gonna come into play. But before we can go to air-to-air missiles, we have to learn how to maneuver the jet, maintain energy, all these kinds of things that are super important. Oh, good shot. You got me? There you go. Good job. Okay, so interesting thing there is the way you got me on that one is I started to pull up, right? And you got very, very close to me. And so obviously that shows you two things. So it shows you that matching lift vector is incredibly important. And what lift vector is if you look at, like, say, the outside of your jet on the F2 view, you can see the top of your aircraft. Like if you look at your canopy, your lift vector is essentially the line of where the lift from your wings is going to be pulling your jet if you were to pull back on the stick at all. And so you can kind of think of that line as like being a vertical line straight out of the top of your canopy. And if you keep your wings like that, it's going to pull you back down into the jungle down below us, right? Where my F5 is down there. And so what matching lift vector means is the best way to get a gun's kill on your opponent and to make your guns as accurate as possible is to match lift vectors. So if I were behind you on your 6, I would want to take my vertical line pointing out the top of my canopy and line it up with your vertical line. So that way our wings are on the exact same bank angle, whether we're upside down, we're 90 degrees on a knife edge, we're doing whatever. Because that way the bullets are going to have an easier time being calculated to the intercept point to hit you, as well as they'll probably most likely have more bullets hit you because the stream of bullets is coming out in line with your aircraft. So when I pulled up there, you pulled up as well. I had the wings totally level as we're pulling up, and you were able to squeeze a big burst right through my aircraft, and that's what killed me. However, you can see also that that is what it's all about, right? Is getting the aircraft lift vectors matched up, dragging that gun sight across the other aircraft and squeezing the trigger at the same time. You can also see that being at close range very, very much helps. So some of those gunshots you were taking were from a very, very long distance away and probably weren't going to add up to anything unless you got really, really lucky. And so as you noticed, you're like, oh shit, I gotta conserve my ammo, right? So I only take gunshots when I'm very, very close to my enemy aircraft that I'm trying to kill. And with the 20 millimeter Vulcan that you have in your F-18 or in the F-16 or other jets, you're very lucky in that it has a very high velocity to your bullets. Whereas in my F-5, I have to take very, very close range shots because the velocity of my bullets aren't very high to begin with, and the rate of fire isn't very high. So I have to make sure that my gun solution is perfect, whereas you can get away more with that kind of spray and pray mentality. But like you said, we can't waste our bullets, so we got to make sure we're a little bit closer. So let's go ahead and do one more at the F5, and then if that goes well, we'll go on and move on to flying against you in a more dangerous type of aircraft.
Let's do that.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm setting up into the new plane.
Cool. I'm ready as well. Just let me know.
I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
One other thing I did a bit different this time is I came in a bit faster. I was on afterburner when we merged.
Yep. Yeah, you definitely want to make sure you're in burners when you merge, but when it comes to the speed of the merge, you want to go for a speed that matches your plan for the dogfight, if that makes sense. So if your plan for the dogfight is I want to be fast, then absolutely enter the merge at a very fast speed. If your plan for the dogfight is, hey, I'm going to outmaneuver this guy at lower speed, you might want to enter the merge at a little bit of a lower speed, because that's going to help you, keep a very, very tight turn radius and just get your nose back on the bad guy as quickly as possible.
I understand.
And this plan for the dogfight changes based on whether the type of aircraft we're fighting against. So if we're fighting against an Iranian F-14, we want to try to be slow and outmaneuver him. But if we're fighting against, say, a Iranian F-5, we want to be really, really fast and just out energy fight him. One thing to keep in mind, like we talked about earlier, though, is the size of the aircraft you're fighting really, really matters in terms of how you fight against them in order to keep sight of them. So if you're fighting against a giant F-14, then you can kind of get yourself a little bit further away from him because you'll still be able to see him. However, if you're fighting against a little MiG-21 or a little F-5, you might want to stay closer to them in order to keep your eye on them, which means pulling harder on that stick past the merge. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Awesome. Glad to hear that.
Yeah, we got the same issue with the gliders. You don't want to be too fast in your turns, because then you don't thermal as efficiently.
Yeah, exactly. And flying a glider is, that's like probably the best kind of flying you could do, short of flying full-on aerobatics for learning how to dogfight, is because it's so much about energy retention, right? And keeping enough energy to get to where you need to be in a glider without a motor. So you can kind of think of it in those terms that you've been learning about flying gliders in real life. All right, goes the merge.
There you are.
Yep. Coming back nose on to each other. And so the F5 is pretty darn maneuverable up to a certain speed. If I can stay above about 300 knots, then I'm pretty darn dangerous. But if you can drag me down to a lower and lower speed, that's where you're going to have more and more of an advantage over me.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to pull very hard so I get more solutions on you.
Yep.
And bleed off speed.
Yeah.
So my radius of turn is smaller.
Oh, that was a little bit, sorry, that's my bad. Didn't realize we were quite as nose on that, so I kind of broke the rules of engagement there. But I missed anyway, so it's all good. All right, so I'm going to tuck under and come into a split S underneath you, try and regain some of that energy that I've lost in that turning fight that we've been in. I'm going to try to go up and over the top. So when we're kind of coming away from each other quite so far, you want to ease off on how much you're pulling back on the stick, so that way you can regain some of that energy, right? Want to make sure that we aren't bleeding off energy unnecessarily. And
yeah,
so
I understand.
I came up and over the top. I'm coming down on you. So just watch out for that. Keep that left turn coming real hard to the left. So that I'm coming down from the overhead, so I'm coming very, very fast. So I'm going to probably overshoot you if I don't kill you. Oh, I missed. Not enough lead. So then reverse your turn real quick to the right. Oh, it's a little bit too late for that. But the best thing to do is see how I overshot you, is reverse that turn, full deflection right stick, full deflection right rudder, and get back to a position where you are going to be able to turn right back into me and get on my sticks and take advantage of that overshoot. So it's going to happen again. Keep that right hand turn, coming hard, coming hard, coming hard. I'll tell you when to the reverse. All right, I'm coming down. I'm going to try to take a gunshot. Going to miss. Reverse the turn to the left. Hard, hard, hard. There you go. We got to be more quick about it. We got to be earlier with it. And you can see I'm coming up over the top again. Keeping that energy state high. This is where I make my bread and butter for the F5, is just staying fast. I gotta stay fast. There you go. Starting to come up here to match me. I like it. Try to regain some of this energy back. What's that?
Yeah. No, I kind of lost a lot of energy doing that.
Yep.
And I couldn't follow you.
Yep. So once you have lost all that energy in the F-18, you really, really, really got to make sure that you are going to try and drag me down to your level, right? So I'm just kind of doing loops around you at this point. We just want to make sure that you are doing your best to stay horizontal, regain some of that energy, and maybe as I'm going out away from you over the loop, maybe it's time to run away, regain some energy, and reset the fight that way. It looks like you are slowly regaining some altitude, so that's good.
Yeah, I'm looking for you because we are so far away and you're so small.
Yep, I'm right on top of your canopy.
Got you.
You're 12 o'clock high. There you go. There you go. Now we're starting to get in a position where you're going to be at more of an advantage because I don't quite have that altitude advantage over you, right? I'm trying to keep it, and then make sure that if you are at a crazy low speed, maybe it is time to dump some of that altitude, regain some energy. There you go. There you go. Now you're offensive against me. Just keep that nose on me, right? You buried that nose. Keep your nose on me. There you go. Match my lift vector, right? Match your bank angle to mine. Keep your nose on me. There you go. Pull hard, pull hard. Here's your chance for a guns kill on me. But I'm not going to let it happen, so I'm going to reverse the turn here. Probably not the best thing to do, but I want to mess up any gun solution that you had on me. It's probably going to allow you to get a little bit closer to me. Got to switch my shoulders, look over the other shoulder. Oh, there you go. Good shots. Good shots. Drag your gun sight right over the top of me. Nice shots. There you go. Now you should kill me. Drag your gun sight across me.
Oh, come on. I had the shoot cue.
Yep. You gotta... The shoot cue comes too late, though. You gotta be more anticipating it earlier than when you get the shoot cue. There you go. There you go. Oh, so close. So close. So now we just need to work on aerial gunnery skills, right?
Yep.
Alright. Watch for the jungle here. Alright, let's see if I can shake him here. Whoa, that was close. Alright, let's try, see if we can go back over the top and start doing circles around him again. I lost sight of you. I saw your shadow for a second. There he is.
Oh, come on. That was so close.
Yep. Alright, just did a bit of an avalanche roll there for you. See if we catch up to me. Oh, watch the ground. That was close.
And I'm almost out of ammo.
Yep. That was a cool effect. I just saw the bullets go right by my canopy and hit the water.
Sweet.
Alright. Get me. Get your nose on me and kill me.
Oh, come on. That was so close.
It's not easy, that's for sure.
No, you're so small.
Well, the good thing is you're staying on my 6, right? Even though I'm doing all kinds of crazy maneuvers. Let's see if I can get you to overshoot. Nope, good job. Awesome, alright. About to stall, because if I stalled there, I'd go into a spin and I'd crash, so that's not good. Don't want to do that. There you go.
And I'm out of ammo.
And, well, you got me. My flight controls are done now. Alright, and I'm dead. Well, with your last little bit of ammo, you got me there. So when it comes to that aerial gunnery, right, the best thing we can do is if you can get either your gun sight on right in front of my nose, and then as I fly through your gun sight, squeeze the trigger, or if you can get your gun sight right on my tailpipes, and then pull hard and squeeze the trigger as your gun sight goes over the top of my aircraft as you're pulling, then that's where you're going to get those really good shots. And remember that you really got to match your bank angle with my bank angle, right? Matching those lift vectors is what it's all about.
Yeah, I think that was my main problem here. I was somewhat out of plane with you in a lot of shots.
Yep, and so that also teaches you, right, that if you have a human player on your 6 o'clock who's trying to get you with a gun skill, the best thing you can do is just keep changing your bank angle, right? Because that's what's going to throw off their aim the most. Is the more you change your lift vector, the harder it's going to be to get a stream of bullets to hit you. They might get a lucky like 1 or 2 bullets that hit you, but as long as your bank angle keeps changing, then that stream of bullets is less likely to impact you, to a very lethal extent, if that makes sense. So with that, I think you're doing pretty well with the maneuvering part. Now we just got to work on those aerial gunnery skills, right? So why don't I move on to flying a different type of aircraft so that way you can see something else. I'll hop into a same type aircraft. We'll hop into an F-18, and that way you can see an F-18 flying against you.